It's Lindsay again. It's September 23rd. It's Tuesday, 2025. There's something I forgot while I was making that video, and I was so agitated that I get so mad thinking about all this trauma that they inflict in your life to smear, campaign, and harass, that I forgot to mention that yeah, I said that he keeps calling me. Now he's doing this just a mind fuckery, okay? He keeps calling me, even though I have him blocked. And this is part of the discard smear campaign, reverse discard shit that I've talked about that they do to try to get even and get a last one up on you. Because that's all, with these people, narcissists, it's all about getting even and showing that they have the upper hand. Because when you outsmart them or beat them at their own game, or expose them, and then they know that you figured out, and then you expose them, and they know they've lied to you, and you've called them in a lie. Well, they're going to continue to harass you and intimidate you and stalk you and do more things. It just becomes like a thing where, yeah, you do end up having to, a lot of times, have to get a restraining order or get the police involved, do a police report, or go to court sometimes. And it's a good thing I don't have kids with this man, this Luis Valdez, because if I did, that would be a fucking nightmare, or any narcissist. But this, by far, this situation that I've been going through for the past 3 years almost, has been the absolute worst abuse, psychological, mind fuckery, gaslighting of anything I've ever gone through with anybody. And I've had some relationships with men, but never, ever, even, I've been taken advantage of by men and treated not so good, but nothing compares to this. The other thing that I could think of that was so bad was that divorce that I went through with a Panamanian who tried to attack me and smother me and suffocate me when I when I didn't want to have sex with him, and he showed up at my apartment all fucking coked out from a long haul truck trip. He showed up all coked up on drugs and alcohol, and he was trying to force himself on me, and I was tired. I didn't want to, and so he started suffocating me on my bed in my apartment on Elman Street, in 1816 Elman, in Houston, Texas. You can ask the landlord, Chris Katechis, who was a landlord of that place, because this man was. Then he started stalking, and I told him I was going to get a divorce. That's it. And then the next day, I think after that, the police came. This was in 2010, I think. I did a police report. I got a restraining order on him, and then I was filed for divorce. And then I got horribly gang stalked and death threats and harassed after that, because he was a Panamanian who I was sponsoring for his green card shit. And so, he was taking advantage of me in that way financially, and he stole my earrings, my diamond earrings that my Peaches, my grandmother, had willed to me. He tried to kill me. And he would show up on I guess I'm talking about this now because it's on my mind. He would come to my house, my apartment. He would just sit there on the porch, stand there for days, like 2 days in a row, I remember, dressed in all red, like knocking on my window, knocking on the door, and he wouldn't go away. And I was just like stuck I wouldn't leave my apartment because I was afraid of him. And then after all that shit happened, that's when I broke my hip. I started getting really emaciated. I lost a lot of weight. I got sick, very sick physically. I thought I was dying. I started getting the bad hematuria. I was running outside all the time. I was under a lot of stress, and he was stalking me. His people were stalking me all over Houston at the Memorial Park, and I was like being heavily gang stalked. And I had to get out. It got so bad that I still stayed till 2000. Well, yeah, I broke my hip, and then I ended up living at Kenny's fucking place on Ferndale, which is a big mistake. But it was just a night. I went through a lot of trauma and torture and physical pain. And he triggered a lot of that, his abuse and his demanding and being very demanding and manipulative and demonic, mean, abusive. And that was he was another very malignant narcissist named Cesar Omlin, Caesar Omlin, or Horado, whatever the fuck his name was, who was using me for a green card. Okay, so I've been through around the block a few times with these narcissistic men who, when they don't get their way, when you expose them or whenever, they fucking do a smear campaign, and they'll get their little friends who are foreign, most of them don't speak English, and they'll gang stalk the shit out of you. And he was involved with the fucking Panamanian police I talked about. And at that time, when this was all going on in Houston, I was going through the police training, the police academy, the peace academy, officers academy. I was doing interviews with the Houston Police Department. And I was trying to get a career going, and that motherfucker sabotaged all that shit because he was so jealous. He had to know every little thing I was doing, and if I didn't tell him everything I was doing, he'd throw a fit. He was so jealous and controlling. I wasn't allowed to go. He'd throw a fit if I went to the park. He got jealous if I went to the gym. He was very insecure because he didn't speak any English, and he was just insecure. And so a lot of these people, I've noticed that a lot of the time, and he was a darker skinned Latino, Panamanian man, okay? So I have a pattern with certain kinds of men I've noticed that tend to be very manipulative and abusive, and then all of a sudden the savage emerges. You'll see they can be really nice and charming and handsome, but then that savage fucking switch goes off for whatever reason, and they behave like a fucking caged animal. Okay, they literally start acting like an uncivilized, oversexed animal that's out of control when they don't get their way, and then that can turn to violence. Because I've had it happen to me, and I've seen it, and I've experienced it, and I've survived it. And so I do have experience with this. And I did have to get a restraining order on him. And now I'm thinking that if this asshole keeps showing up, because now I'm feeling threatened, I will do a fucking restraining order. Because look, as I said, I have him blocked. And look, I'm showing on my phone from 3 hours ago today, which is, he called. It shows on my phone, and I'm going to show for proof. This is my proof that I'm not lying about any of this stuff. Half the time, I have his number blocked, and I've even shown on my phone where it's blocked. But it says here, call history, right? That's from today. Today's date, you see? And so the call history, he called me today, 3 hours ago, call details. I'm going to show the call details. So I'm not lying about any of this stuff, and I do have his number blocked, as I'm going to show you on my settings, on my phone. I press settings, and I go to blocked numbers. And his number is at the very last one down there, which is blocked. And I have not unblocked him. He keeps telling me unblock me. I'm not going to fucking unblock you. No way. Well, you see what they do? But so he's mad. He's trying to get revenge. He's pissed off, you know, because he didn't get his way, and because I exposed him and his little fucking thing with that girlfriend, for whatever the hell, his friend, buddy, whatever the fuck, Anita, amongst many others. So this is all like, they're all, you know, it's like, I guess there's a big team of people against me, and I'm against, it's like I'm the only one defending myself is how it feels. But I just don't fucking care what, it's gotten to the point where they've done so much damage over the years that it's like, what more are they going to do except try to murder me, right? They've already apparently tried with something in my drink. But now what? Are they going to try to murder me with a gun? It's, you know, what are they going to try to do? It makes me feel like they've got some kind of a plan where they're going to really physically try to assault me. And so therefore, I do feel that it's in my best interest to do a restraining order, which is going to end up costing me money because I have to go through an attorney to do that, most likely. But this is not, he thinks I'm joking around. This is not a joke. I value my life. These people don't fucking value me. I don't give a fuck. I value myself. He's told me that I have no value, that I'm not important. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. And I just had to say that because, and speaking of that, and all of a sudden this Jose Oti, my mother's Cuban handler, boyfriend, or friend, whatever, shows up, or supposedly, okay, here's, And I don't know him very well, but I don't really trust him either. He seems kind of like another man, just like all her other boyfriends, like Bob Sussman, who try to fucking control me. And Jose is just someone else who just seems like, it's like, I don't even fucking know you hardly, but all of a sudden I keep getting mail, lately I've been getting mail for somebody named Jose Sanchez. And it's like, who the fuck is Jose Sanchez? I keep getting stuff in the mail for Jose Sanchez, and I'm thinking, okay, well, Jose probably uses an alias. He probably uses that name Sanchez, because the other day I got something from the post office. And it's something about, and it's like see, what are they up to? What the question I have for these people is, what are they trying to do to me? What are they trying to use me for? Besides, obviously, a cash cow to fucking exploit and make money off of. What else? Because I'm not going to fucking put up with this shit. I've got the fucking evidence. And they think they can just bully me and treat me like I'm stupid, like a little slave to their abuse and exploitation. Sexual human trafficking is what it is, basically. By sending these handlers and shit to fucking control my money. This is from the post office, and it says, action required. Activation code, Jose Oti. 8-digit activation code. Confirmation code. And it says, the United States Postal Service recently received, and I'm just showing you that I'm reading this from here. So I'm not making this shit up. This is for my own for my fucking legal purposes against these people, because I'm fucking tired of them doing this to me. That's why I have an attorney. The United States Postal Service recently received a USPS change of address. So he's trying to use this house for something, right? Request requires additional recent identification verification before being activated. The security of your mail is very important to us. So in other words, he had asked me at one point if he could, because I have that message, I think I erased it finally, but he was asking if he could have the Department of Public Transportation send his driver's license renewal here, because apparently they're not allowed to send it to a P.O. box. And he has a P.O. box in Laredo. And he's like, well, I don't want to have to drive I said, and I had left him a message. I said, well, Jose, I don't mind doing that, but why don't you just have him send it to your P.O. box? Or why don't you go to Laredo to get your driver's license renewed? You know, if you're in Mexico, you live in Mexico, right? Why don't you get your fucking car registered in Mexico? You've been there for 5 years. Why don't you register your car there? Or why do you what's going on? And why do you need to use my address when all you have to do is have them send it to your P.O. box? If you have a P.O. box in Laredo, right? I don't understand. Or why don't you get your driver's license renewed in El Paso? Or somewhere close to the border, as opposed, what's going on here? So they're mad, he's mad. It's like this all of a sudden happened as soon as I try to get legal help. See all the synchronicities that are no coincidences? You see how they do this shit to try to maintain control over my fucking life and money so they can further make money off me? By the fucking hidden cameras that I didn't approve of? There's something very perverted. I can feel something going on, and I'm not stupid. And I know that they're utilizing me in ways that I did not fucking approve of. And I'm very angry because I've been completely fucking exploited by these people. I don't know who the fuck they really work for, but I have my suspicions about people. And I can tell, I'm not dumb. They think I don't know about sex trafficking, human trafficking, surveillance, hidden cameras, anything. You think I'm that dumb to not know what these fucking perverts do, to the extent they'll do to fucking get, this is what some of these do. They're a lot of fucking porn addicts. They have problems with their fucking impotence. And they abuse women. If they've gotten rejected by somebody in the past, they'll use people to get revenge. This is what they fucking do. And they've been doing this shit to me, using me for this kind of shit for a long time. So-called fucking family. And he's not even my family. I'm just saying, I don't know what the fuck these people think I am. But they're not paying me anything. As a matter of fact, they're taking my money. My money from my father. That they stole my inheritance. So I keep getting shit in the mail in the past week. Jose Sanchez. I'm like, okay, maybe Jose is using an alias. Who the fuck is Jose Sanchez? And it's all this shit like health crap. Like this is something, this is from, I don't know what this is. I haven't opened it. I'm not going to open it, but there's something in here, important plan information. See, I think he's sending all his health shit. What they do is these people, okay, when they go to Mexico, a lot of expatriates or whatever, expat. I don't think Jose was in the military. He's a fucking Cuban man from Cuba. So they'll go live in Mexico, these rich fucking Americans who have money. They'll go to San Miguel, for example, or whatever the fuck resort town where there's a lot of Americans or Europeans, and they'll live it up, live it because it's cheaper to live there. They get to buy a nice house, have a maid, a cook, and all that shit, and live a life, with a lot of fucking money. And then they collect their Social Security in the U.S., obviously, and then I guess I thought that maybe they deposit in their bank account, or I don't know what the fuck, but why they still want to have all their shit registered in the U.S. They still want to have their health care, their car registration, and all that stuff in an address in the U.S., meanwhile living in Mexico. So it's like they're living a dual address, double citizenship, I guess. I don't know, but you think I want to fucking be in San Antonio? I could do the same goddamn thing. It's like destiny swapping. I could be in Mexico. I should be in Mexico teaching ESL or doing something, living my fucking life as opposed to being in this fucking hellhole city. But no. They want to rub it in my face that I don't deserve anything, that I'm a loser, I'm ugly, I'm a failure, that I deserve to be in a fucking horrible, fucking shitty situation, basically because of my mother and her fucking greed over money, because they stole my money. And that's what they're doing. Now he's involved. She's always getting involved with these men who have shitloads of fucking money, but they want to make sure that I have nothing. They want to make sure that they rub it in my face, that I don't have what they have, that look at what I have and look at what you don't have, and I'm going to try to micromanage your No, you're not going to fucking manage my life. I'm going to manage my own fucking life. I have my own fucking LLC, my fucking company, and I will choose my employees. And none of the fucking family can fuck off, because I'm going to fight them against this shit.